This is Damon Stevens with Finwell Builders. Today is Monday, July 11th, 2022, and the stock market update for our trades of the day. And it was a great day in the market. We had some pullbacks. We continue to travel to trade in a channel here. But we also have some CPI numbers coming out on Wednesday, which could create some volatility in the market and could definitely set the tone for where the market goes next. Small caps finally playing out in the market today. We'll see what that does for us in the next few days here, but good to see a little bit of change up here. But let's take a look at what's going on in the market, see how we can profit from the market coming into tomorrow and the rest of this week. Looking at the Dow Jones, you can see it closed down 0.52%, NASDAQ down 2.26%, and S&P 500 down 1.15%. You see our FANG stocks, money flowing out of it. Overall, you can see the general market was pretty much the same. You can see here kind of was pretty well flat, had a little spike in the day, and then kind of sold off the rest of the day. And you see here our smaller cap stocks here, KSPN and PLRX were great trades. You can see didn't like the volume as much. It was not as strong as I'd like to see, but PLRX was probably better, obviously volume wise. But let's take a look at those and look at the rest of the market here. Just looking at, just overall, again, this is kind of the schedule for this week. You can see the CPI, the consumer price index information coming out 8:30 on Wednesday. So that's pre-market. So just be careful. That could possibly swing that market that day and kind of set the tone for where we head next. Thursday, we have additional information, initial jobless claims, and then also retail sales on Friday. So a lot of information coming out this week. Definitely can add to the market and the direction that we're headed right now. Looking at calls and puts. So you can see here as far as overall, people who are short in the market and long on the market. This is the S&P SPY with the calls and puts ending this week. You can see here we kind of have a put wall here at 380. What that means typically is, there's a lot of people short in the market wanting a payout, starting at 380. So if the market comes below 380, it's kind of sitting, just under 384 right now. If it comes down to 380 and closes out the week at 380, that pays off a lot of these people who have shorted the market with puts. And so usually the market likes to cash out themselves and not pay off those who bought contracts for the week. And so there's a little bit of a wall here building. There's quite a few puts. You can see here almost two people shorting the market for everybody who's long. So that definitely tells you that we are definitely in a downtrend, definitely in a bear market. And people are definitely shorting the market more than going long on it. Now there's, a build up here at 400, but you can see it's kind of staggered as far as people who are long on the market. So, look at the support area possibly around this 380. If we do hit that area, obviously if the market doesn't want to pay out all these people shorting the market, it's going to try to push it up north. It doesn't guarantee it, but just something to be aware of. And also 392 is where the market needs to be to create the max pain. So right here in the middle, that hurts all the people who are long on the market and everybody who's short on the market if we close at 382 right now as it stands today. And again, this changes every day. So we cover this every day just to give you an update. Now let's get back into these small caps here. So KSPN on a 15-minute chart, you can see here on the low here, we're 704 on the open. Kind of grinded up higher, so you had a chance here. We kind of settled in at 9 o'clock around $5, and then we hit a high of $7. Kind of flat right now, so we're looking at, see if we have a continuation play, again tomorrow, and a little more upside on this. You can see here 1055 is kind of where we're at before. You have the support line here is 747 back here in April. And that's kind of pretty much close, kind of like right where we just barely under is where we came today for the high. And so that's where these numbers come from, just in case you're wondering. PLRX, you can see here, nice run up here from 850 up to 22. So a huge run, a little bit pulled back to 780. And then, the rest of the afternoon, and this thing just continued to climb up higher and higher and through after hours to a new high. So definitely a strong stock. So we're going to be watching this and have some really good news. So we're going to be looking for a continuation trade on here. Let me show you why. And this is on a 15-minute chart. We're going to go to a weekly chart. So on a weekly chart, this gives you a better view. So right here, 1943 is kind of where we're sitting right now. Well, we were closer to the close here. We kind of are higher now up here, closer to this area here. But you see here, the high was 43.92. But resistance is kind of where we kind of ended the day. So if we can kind of get above some of this resistance areas, we very well could continue to climb up here to these higher highs here. So just something to be aware of. You know, I would suspect I'm looking, you know, for some type of maybe pull back in the morning first thing, maybe. Look at pre-market and see if we're running. If we can kind of hold support, you know, at least around this $20 range, looking for a continuation play back up to, maybe 24, 23, 24. If we kind of hold that and maybe that puts in a new base tomorrow, then, you know, look for something to continue up here closer to maybe these areas, maybe around 30, $31. And then up here would be around 33. So looking to see if this can give us a multi-day trade. But that's kind of where the numbers come from, just so you're aware, and what we're looking to trade on that one. Looking at the futures here overnight, you see here currently we've come down lower from the close of the market, hovering down here around those 38 to 35. If we get below 38, 30, that's where we are going to probably have some additional downside tomorrow. So looking to see if we can get a bump up before the open. Looking at Google here again, the end of this week, the stock will be splitting, so it'll be a lot cheaper for stock traders to purchase Google. You can see it closed at the top of the candle, still in the mid range of this candle. We get resistance around 2,400 on Google. Amazon, you hit this, it's in this channel. See where we have this channel here, and so does it come back down here, back and forth, or what do we do here? You can see we're kind of downward sloping still. So we could come up here possibly tomorrow, and hit some resistance around this 117 area off the 50-day and also our trend line, and then pull back. Or, since we're at the bottom of the candle, break below this 20-day moving average at 112, we could definitely pull back here and find support back down here around 101. Apple's been kind of slowly grinding up here from 129 to 145. Got resistance here at the 50. You can see we rejected off the 50 before. So it's possible to get a pullback here. If we stay above 145, look for a rally. If we don't, and we pull back down below this 145 area, look for maybe a down play here. And maybe, this more becomes a channel. NVIDIA was in a channel kind of this up and down through here, and then we broke below that into a new range. So look for, a possible new range here. If we stay below 160, maybe come down to 140 area. And so maybe a range becomes 140 to 160. Meta, you can see here we rejected off the 20-day moving average. We're pulling back down here through these candles. Are about over halfway through this candle. So look for a low possibly down here to 162. If we break that, we could come back down here to this whole low here, which means this is, again, a nice little range that we're going to be stuck in. Tesla, boy, surprised me. Boy, it had a nice weekend. Really rallied up there and then just tanked it and lost it all. We had those Elon Musk's Twitters out, Twitter's off the docket for him. And so, obviously, there's reactions in the market, but boy, Tesla really sold off today down here at that support level 700. So we talked about this in our video. We stay above 760, we were probably going to go up to 800. But if we stay below 760, we're coming down to 700. If we break 700, we could come down here to 670. If we break that down to 640 or 620. So just looking at Tesla to see what it's going to do. It's back down kind of right in the middle of the range, right at that 700. So look for either break of 700 to the south or a support here where it's at and a bounce. If you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. And also check us out at finwealthlive.com. Finwealthlive.com will have a Discord link where you can join it, where we post our numbers before the market opens, so you can trade with us. Also, we have some free training out there and some other services as well. So check it out, finwealthlive.com, and continue to subscribe and like our videos if you find them helpful. The dollar continues to move up, broke through, we're heading new highs, so clear up almost to 109. Top of our deviation bands. You can see here, that's where we rejected before. So do we pull back a little bit? It's possible, what we've done in the past, and pull back, but we will see. It's a really strong dollar right now, which means gold's pulling down here, and it's down here right at the bottom. It just tagged the bottom of our deviation bands, which it did before rallying up here. So it's been there before. See if we can find some support here and get a little bit of a bounce on gold. US oil is trying to struggle to get above our resistance area. Got to break this 78 level so we can continue up. Otherwise, we'll just be stuck in this channel here towards the lower deviation bands. The VIX pulled down, hit that 200-day today, kind of ended flat right here towards our bottom of our trend line. You see here, typically we spend a few days before getting bounced. And so how many days we stay down here, it's hard to say. If we can continue to stay down here, market will rally. We bounce back above here, this trend line, and start to head back up into this wedge that we've been in. Very well, can start to see the market pull back. We'll see the SPY on the daily chart. See here, nice and flat, right in the middle of this little channel. So we really got to get above 390 to run to the upside, or below 380 to the downside. On a weekly chart, you can see here just consolidating here right in our lower deviation bands. So just kind of flat right now, trying to determine the direction, which may come Wednesday with the core CPI numbers coming out. Triple Q's kind of upward trending out of this downward trend, but kind of flat right here. You see this could become a range right here. So we can see here if we can get back above 296, we can run. If we break below 288, we're coming back down lower. Semiconductors, so SMH, so you can see here kind of flat, kind of stuck between here in this little range between 210 and 200. So we've got to break one of those to the upside or downside. IWM, right on the 20-day moving average. You can see here, this could be a range right here, possibly, or upward, sloping wedge here. So we'll see what we can do, but we need, either hold and break above, 177, or break down below, 170 to the downside. Financials sitting here kind of in this wedge area. We're at the top of it. We were rejecting off the 20-day moving average, so we got to get above this $32 and hold it. If not, we could be breaking back down towards 31, 30, or 30.50 area. Healthcare been on this nice rampage rally up above all the moving averages, kind of flat now at this resistance area. Got to get above this resistance area, this 131 area, so we can rally up here. If not, there could be possible pullback a little bit temporarily right at all these moving averages, but we should find support here around this 129 area. Energy sector, XLE, sitting here, hovering down here by our lower deviation bands. So kind of flat, consolidating, looking for some, momentum here. Right now, not a lot of momentum to get, above, the $70 range. So above 70, possibly rally up. Below 69, coming down. Bitcoin, you see here, kind of in this channel again, a little wave here, coming back towards the lows of that channel. So just kind of stuck here between 21 and 19,000 for now. So we got to break one of those to the upside or downside. Same with Ethereum. Ethereum is kind of in this little wave here in this little channel. So break below, this 1090 area could bring us back down towards 1,000. We get, above 1250, we start to rally out of this channel here. That's our stocks, our cryptos, small caps, things that we're looking at for tomorrow. Definitely check out those small caps in the morning, pre-market, to see if we can get a run tomorrow. And watch the SPY and VIX for some direction. And, we could be flat tomorrow, possibly, waiting for the CPI numbers from that Wednesday. watch for that, and we'll see where we swing from there. That'll give us some direction on kind of where the market wants to go, maybe in the near short term. Everybody have a great night. We'll talk tomorrow night, see how the trades went. Definitely get on our Discord so you can get those numbers before the market opens. Everybody have a great night.